What if I told you that creating a well-planned retirement paycheck could be the difference between a stress-free retirement and one filled with unnecessary taxes and financial uncertainty? Imagine knowing exactly where your income will come from, how much you can spend, and how to minimize taxes along the way. Today, we're going to explore how you can create a personalized retirement paycheck that ensures financial security and tax efficiency so you can enjoy your golden years with confidence. Welcome to the Canadian Retirement Roadmap podcast, where I help Canadians prepare for and navigate through a confident retirement. I'm Patrick Briscoe, financial planner at Bayswater Wealth Management, IPC Investment Corporation. And whether you're just starting to plan or already retired, this show is designed to help you make smarter financial decisions about your retirement. Today, we'll break down 3 essential elements to crafting a successful retirement paycheck. We're going to cover what a retirement paycheck is and why it's crucial, the different income sources that may form your retirement paycheck, as well as their unique tax implications, because each income source is taxed slightly differently. We'll also talk about how to structure a sustainable and tax-efficient retirement income strategy. And by the end of the episode, you'll have the knowledge to start envisioning your own retirement paycheck and avoid some common mistakes. I've also written a chapter on this topic in the book Financial Success for Pre-Retirees. If you'd like my team to send you a complimentary copy, simply visit bayswaterwealth.ca/podcast. Okay, so let's talk about why this topic matters. Transitioning into retirement means a fundamental shift in how you receive income. During your working years, most people rely on a regular paycheck from an employer. Taxes are deducted automatically, and budgeting tends to be pretty straightforward. But when you retire, your income might come from several different sources. It's no longer just a simple paycheck, and taxes might not even be withheld at source. And this list of different income sources can be quite long. You may receive pensions such as Canada Pension Plan, Old Age Security, and maybe an employer pension. And then you may have to supplement that with your investments. And those can include RRSPs and RIFs, tax-free savings accounts, non-registered accounts, locked-in accounts, life income funds, and the list can go on. And to complicate matters even further, like I said, each of these income sources may be taxed differently. So without careful planning, you might end up paying more tax than necessary and maybe even face cash flow challenges later in retirement. And this is why crafting a well-structured retirement paycheck is essential to ensure that your money lasts as long as you do and provides the lifestyle that you envision. Okay, so let's dive in and define a retirement paycheck. A retirement paycheck is the combination of income streams that you draw from during your retirement years in order to cover your living expenses. Like I said, rather than receiving a single paycheck like during your working years, in your retirement years, you'll be drawing from multiple income sources: CPP, OAS, an employer pension plan, RIF withdrawals, and other investment accounts. Not to mention some of the other types of income that we'll talk about shortly. And the goal of the retirement income plan is to ensure that these income sources are structured in a way that meets your cash flow needs while minimizing taxes and ensuring the sustainability of your savings. So a retirement paycheck will do a few things. It's going to ensure that you have enough income in your bank account each month in order to cover your expenses. It's going to pay the CRA their fair share and no more. It will utilize each income source to its fullest potential. It'll account for the likelihood of emergency expenses and also make sure that your income is sustainable for the rest of your retirement. We've talked about some of the income streams that you can receive in retirement. Let's dive into those a little bit more and talk about their tax implications as well. So let's go over some of the common income sources you'll encounter and how they're taxed. First, let's go through a long list of the different income sources that you might come across throughout your retirement. So bear with me here. We have employer pension plans, Canada Pension Plan or CPP, the Quebec Pension Plan or QPP, Old Age Security, otherwise known as OAS, the guaranteed income supplement, which can be added to OAS, survivor's benefits, non-registered investments, registered investments, which include RSPs or RIFs, LIRAs and LIFs. We have tax-free savings accounts. We have annuities. We have rental income, part-time employment, business or corporate income. Perhaps we've started a reverse mortgage or are accessing funds from a home equity line of credit. We may also receive an inheritance or life insurance benefit. Perhaps we have a whole life insurance policy with cash values that we draw on, or long-term care insurance. If the list of income sources isn't overwhelming enough, understanding the tax consequences of each income stream can certainly be. Not to mention figuring out how much should be taken from each of those sources to minimize the amount of tax you're paying each year. While many sources are fairly straightforward in that they're fully taxable, such as pensions and RIF payments, others could be completely tax-free, like TFSA withdrawals or reverse mortgages or accessing a home equity line of credit for income. And then we have the it depends items as well. Things like non-registered investments or corporate assets and insurance policies could be taxed differently depending on the type of income that you're receiving from any of those sources. Could be capital gains, could be fully taxed as income, perhaps it's dividend income, and each of those are taxed in a different way. Understanding how each source is taxed can really help you determine when and how to withdraw from each account strategically. For example, withdrawing from a TFSA, if you do that early, it can preserve your taxable income and keep you in a low tax bracket up front. However, it could mean that you're saving a lot of taxable accounts until later in your retirement years and facing a lot of tax then. The good news is that a good financial planner can help you craft a retirement paycheck using financial planning software that can plot all of this out for you now and well into the future. Now that we know what a retirement paycheck is, its importance, and how some of the income sources may be taxed, let's talk about some of the considerations to take into account when forming your own retirement paycheck. Creating a retirement paycheck involves many more things than just withdrawing money from your accounts. A retirement paycheck that is part of a tailored financial plan is going to consider at least these 6 factors. Number 1, pension splitting. If you're married or in a common law partnership, pension splitting can help reduce overall family tax burdens by shifting income over to the lower earning spouse, which can reduce the overall tax paid for the household. OAS clawbacks. So if your income exceeds a certain threshold, part of your OAS benefits may actually be clawed back or reduced. And some careful planning with the retirement paycheck and how much income you're taking from various sources can actually help to avoid this issue. Thirdly, a good retirement paycheck will take into account expected longevity and health. And I know that's something that we often don't have control over, but there are some hints with things like family history and current health status that can help to guide how you want to form your withdrawals for long-term sustainability. For example, family history may influence when you decide to start receiving CPP as part of your retirement paycheck. Generally speaking, a shortened life expectancy would mean you want to take CPP earlier in retirement, whereas a history of long lifespans of family members might mean that you have the confidence to delay when you take CPP. And working with a financial planner and exploring the ins and outs of retirement paycheck can really help to let you understand what impact that decision will make. Number 4 is liquidity and uncertainty. A smart retirement paycheck is going to ensure that you have accessible tax-friendly funds for emergencies, without having to trigger significant taxable events. It will also account for those what-if scenarios, such as long-term care costs or stock market downturns. The 5th consideration would be inheritance. Although this is often an uncomfortable discussion, if an inheritance is expected at some point in the future, it's important to consider it in your financial plan and retirement paycheck, while also understanding that it may not be guaranteed, but knowing that you have or may have that option available can be important, and it can make the difference in how you decide to start taking income earlier in retirement. So if family dynamics allow, a discussion around how and when to transition an inheritance could result in significant tax savings for all parties. So not necessarily just for the person receiving it, but depending on how that inheritance is given, there are some potential tax planning opportunities for the person giving that inheritance as well. So a personalized approach really allows you to maximize both your income and the longevity of your savings. So like I said, there are many more considerations than just these 5, but that'll give you a good start on what you want to start to think about when deciding how long and what sources of income you want to start drawing from. Now what I'd like to do is look at a client example. Penny and Oliver, which, not their real names, but they've recently retired, and we needed to help structure a retirement paycheck for them. They do have fully taxable CPP and OAS, along with Oliver's employer pension. And between those sources alone, they expect that they can cover about 60% of the monthly income needs. And, they feel pretty fortunate that they do have this, but now they're starting to wonder, where does that remaining 40% come from? How are we going to make up that difference? Not just now, but for the rest of our retirement. And a few things are going to run through their heads. Should they make up the difference by drawing on the RSP account that Penny has contributed to over the past 25 years? Since there's plenty of money in that RSP, that sounded pretty good at first. But then we realized that they may increase their income if they do that because the RSP is fully taxable. And they may increase that income to a point where the government starts to claw back part of their OAS payments. So maybe we don't want to take fully from the RSP, right? So then what we decide is, okay, maybe we need to supplement with the tax-free savings account so that the 40% that we need isn't fully from the RSP and taxable, but maybe just a portion from there and a portion from the TFSAs. That would certainly solve the OAS clawback problem. But we also have to be careful because we don't want to use up the TFSAs too quickly, or we might not have enough, or shall I say, Oliver and Penny might not have enough tax-free money for the bucket list trip that they want to take in a few years. On the other hand, maybe drawing on the TFSAs and getting them depleted early in retirement isn't the end of the world because they plan to sell their rental property, which will provide plenty of cash that they can then use to top up those TFSAs again. So herein lies the importance and complexity of crafting a retirement paycheck that considers Penny and Oliver's unique needs, goals, and financial situation. And some smart financial planning now was able to help us create a retirement paycheck that yields tangible results today and also avoids future surprises and tax hurdles. So Penny and Oliver sleeping better at night now, knowing exactly where their future income is coming from, how it's going to be taxed, how long it should last, and what they can leave behind as a legacy for their loved ones and community. So thank you for making it this far. As we close out this discussion, let's just summarize a few key points. So first, upon retirement, we may go from receiving a single paycheck to receiving a number of different income streams. A retirement paycheck involves drawing income from multiple sources in a coordinated way to ensure that the best long-term outcome is available for your overall net worth. We want to make sure that you have as much left at the end as possible while providing enough income now to meet all of your goals. Number 2, each income source has a unique tax implication that we need to take into consideration when doing that strategic planning. And thirdly, structuring your income thoughtfully can help reduce taxes and extend the life of your savings. So remember, retirement planning isn't just about how much you've saved, it's also about how you manage those savings once you stop working. Taking some time to plan now on how to best draw on that income within retirement can enrich the golden years and provide peace of mind. Creating a personalized retirement paycheck as part of a comprehensive financial plan should be on everyone's to-do list. I know it doesn't sound like the most fun thing to do, but it definitely should be on that list. And with the introductory information we've just gone over, now you're equipped to start crafting that paycheck with your financial planner. Best of luck, and feel free to reach out with any questions or feedback. Thanks for tuning in. And if today's episode has helped you better understand retirement income planning, I'd encourage you to take the next step. Head over to bayswaterwealth.ca/podcast. And there you can request a complimentary copy of Financial Success for Pre-Retirees, as well as other relevant resources. Don't forget to subscribe to the Canadian Retirement Roadmap podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. Thank you for joining me on the Canadian Retirement Roadmap podcast. I'm Patrick Briscoe, helping you retire with confidence. Until next time, stay informed, stay prepared, and retire well.
Trademarks owned by Investment Planning Council Incorporated and licensed to its subsidiary corporations. Investment Planning Council is a fully integrated wealth management company. Mutual funds available through IPC Investment Corporation and IPC Securities Corporation. Securities available through IPC Securities Corporation, a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. Insurance products available through Patrick Briscoe. Independent of his role with IPCIC, Patrick Briscoe is also a co-author in the forthcoming books entitled Financial Success for Pre-Retirees and Financial Success for Retirees, due out in early 2025.